Welcome to the Preeminence Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Peters, founder of Ascend. Be sure to grab your ultimate guide to preeminence at preeminence.tv. Today we're talking about building a preeminent brand, part 3 of 3. So tune in, listen up, and get ready to take a focused action on your mission, message, and presence, and create accelerated results toward preeminence right now. And finishing up today is part 3 of 3 of building a preeminent brand. This is from my talk at the Chiropractic Success Summit. Go ahead and listen to the last piece today. If you missed 1 and 2, go ahead back the last couple of days and check those out.
You being relevant is being you 100%. That's going to make you relevant. If you're saying, I don't want to keep throwing the same names out, but if you're watching somebody's videos and saying they're really successful doing bone broth, I'm going to be all about bone broth. It's like, you're never going to be the best copycat, you know? And so you need to figure out who you are. One of the things I did is mine is Ascend, ASYND, authority, syndication. And then the name of my program is Elevation. So those are the two things. It's an upward growth. Now that I know who I am and what I'm doing, creating market preeminence for experts, I can create a brand around that. And so I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and now I can create a brand around that. So what people do is they'll go to Fiverr or 99 Design saying, hey, make me a logo. And they don't know who you are. But if you go to them and saying, here's what we're all about, here's our mission, here's my purpose, and here's where we're going. Now they have something to work with. Here's what we're an expert at. They can build off of that. So how often do you need to do it? I would say as little as possible, because you want to build that brand over time. And 99 Designs, you spend $250, $500, get a really nice logo, but don't just logo hop because, we got to change things up. If you're doing that, it's just telling me you haven't done the work. You haven't done the deep work of your identity yet.
That's brilliant, Matthew. Thank you for clarifying that. And it goes back to specifics and mission, vision, and purpose, and being really crystal clear. Because if you thought this out and you're authentic, that shouldn't really change every 2 years, 5 years, right? Because that's your life mission. That's your purpose. That's your passion. And now here's the vision. Now create the brand that you want the world to see and live it. Is that correct?
Yes. Absolutely. And the more you have, you're consistent with your message, the more conviction you have, the more you're going to create a movement instead of just marketing.
So then I maybe answered my own question. If that's who I am, just putting my logo on my shirt and or t-shirt when I go work out, mm-hmm. and I want to do a video, that seems authentic to have my brand, in the gym that says, yep, my website or who I am and things like that.
Yeah, if you're gonna invest $20 to $50 in a shirt with Nike or something on it, I'd much rather have my own. But I'll tell you, I have a friend who over the last 4 years has built a $30 million business, and all he has in his closet, unless he's going out on date night or something, is his T-shirt, the one T-shirt he always is seen in public with, and it's all branded, his brand. And that's a decision he made. I know Mark Zuckerberg has blue jeans, blue T-shirt, and a hoodie. You have Steve Jobs. He had his blue jeans and the mock turtleneck. That's who they want to be seen as. And then now they don't have to think about what should I wear. That's who they're seen as. I'm sure they paid a significant amount of money for people to help them come up with that look. But really, the authentic you is just get out there and know what your message is, because your message and your conviction is going to surpass any audio and video quality.
And just another example, Bill Belichick, 5 Super Bowl rings, whatever, arguably one of the best coaches, wears a hoodie on the sidelines. He does, that's who he is, right? Yeah. He doesn't need to be anyone else. He's just being him. Mm-hmm. Do you have what if people are afraid to get on video? What if they don't want to take that first step and want to be visible? And how can you nudge us in the right direction to get out there and show people who we are?
Yeah, I would say get over yourself. I didn't want to be on camera. Literally, when my first book came out, I knew I had to be the one to be on camera because I could do a screencast or I could do, a webinar with slides, but it's not your face. So what I did was I literally spent 13 hours writing a script, memorizing it, and I shot it like 7 times. It was like 11:30 at night. I had the script that I'd memorized, and it was like, I watched it back. I started editing it. It's like, this is not me. So I got up in front of the camera and I just told my story instead. It was basically several years ago, my wife and I were really in debt when we got married. I know that's a very odd story for anybody, but we became resident managers, paid off all of our debt, lived for free for 13 years as resident managers, did like a Tim Ferriss style, systemize everything, worked an hour and a half a week, wrote a book about how we did that. Thought it would help some people. So I had to get on camera and tell that story. And I sold the book with the story, not my marketing stuff that I had the sales letter. Here's the winning, 7-figure sales letter. So I was going through that. I sold it with my story instead, which was much more powerful.
That's awesome. More brilliance. That's just, it's so fun to listen to someone who doesn't have chiropractic brain.
Yeah.
So when I go to seminars and get all this data dump and get all this information, whether I take action on it or set it on the shelf or not, I'm filtering it through a chiropractor's mind and how chiropractors think. And you don't have that. You're thinking it from someone different. And that's the brilliance of it, to work with someone like you, share our vision and our mission and our purpose and our passion, and then have you, cultivate that and polish that, so then we can express that to the masses so people can come see us and get the brilliance that we deliver. Absolutely.
There is a danger to putting out a lot of videos that have very low value. What happens is, imagine if you have a video where someone's stumbling around for 15 minutes and they don't really have a point. How many of those videos do you think someone who doesn't know you is going to watch? Maybe half of one.
Yeah.
And so you can actually damage your credibility by doing the opposite. And one of the things people do is a 90-day challenge without a specific goal other than getting better. And by day 2, people aren't watching. So it's really important that you do invest in having someone help you develop your message. One of the things that I want to say is something people can do right now is, a lot of times the story you're not sharing is the thing that's holding you back. I had some people that came through my programs that did this, what I call confession video, and they just had their iPhone in front of them, and it's just like they're sitting at their desk or whatever, and they're saying, this case would be like, the reason why most people don't know the reason why I got into chiropractic is because when I was younger, my father died of cancer. And I was wondering what we could have done to save him, what would have been like for my dad to be here today. And that story is going to get shared a lot more than a marketing message. If you tell people that the deep stuff that's going on that you think, yeah, but now I'm not going to be cool. Yeah, I'm not going to seem professional. You know what? Those deep stories a lot of times trump any kind of polished marketing video. I had one woman who shared something. She had actually hidden her identity online with like a cartoon face. And she had changed her name because she was afraid of what repercussions could happen to her if she said who she was. And I challenged her. I said, what are you hiding from? And so she finally came out with her story. And from that story, sharing it, it was shared. She empowered lots of women. She got so many messages from women saying, thank you for sharing your story. Matter of fact, something like that happened to me as well. And then she got 2 speaking gigs. So it was because she had been holding it in, being afraid of what people would think of them. That is really the thing that totally blossomed. Now she's a speaker with her fiance. The 2 of them speak about relationships, and they're really powerful. So that's something definitely you can do.
I love that. The story I'm not sharing is usually what's holding me back. It comes back to authenticity again.
Mm-hmm.
and being specific and sharing your mission and your vision and your passion. Any other advice for people that are plateaued or stuck or struggling before we give them your contact information and how they can work with you? Any other words of advice for us?
Yeah, the struggle isn't necessary. To stay plateaued isn't necessary. I really look at it, I'm a marketing person, and I had worked with some amazing names in the industry. And when I got them on camera, I had some people saying, what should I say here? I'm like, no, you're the expert at this. I'm the video guy for you right now. And I realized there were so many people who had this veneer, this really thin veneer of here's why I'm in public. I'm all polished and I know all this stuff. And when I was actually getting content out of them, they didn't know. And so it was an identity thing. I had realized I had people who paid me a significant amount of money to create all these videos, and then they changed their mind later because they went to another seminar and they're going to do something different now. They were afraid to let people know who they were, so they did what was hot. So I would say for people, and why I took a break from doing that, because I just got disillusioned with so many people who didn't know who they were, that now everybody I work with who I'm going to be creating a bunch of content for, I have them go through this ultimate clarity template. So I know who they are. They know who they are. And we can now take who you are and your authentic self and now just communicate that. We don't have to have any fancy sales letters. We don't have to have any kind of polish and kind of, I call it fakery. People say we're going to manufacture your authority. And I have a friend, this great guy. He says, no, authority is manufactured. I said, no, celebrities manufactured. Authority is earned every day.
That speaks to me, because you say, be the expert that we are, and share that so we can really help everyone else, because the struggle isn't necessary. Right. More brilliance. You're a brilliant man. I can't wait to dive into your bonus. That's worth everything. Just this alone can transform someone's practice, authenticity, really get crystal clear on what their message is. Don't be a copycat. I love that. Just be the expert that we are, that's inside us. Share that story, share our expertise.
Absolutely. And the point where you're unapologetic and you're okay with ruffling feathers or being polarizing, that's when everything's going to change for you. Because you may have, they say, well, when you raise prices, 10% of the people leave, but your price raise actually is going to overcome that anyways. It's the same when you finally stand out and you say, I stand for this in this video. If it's whatever's in tap water or something like that, and you start talking about all these things that are in tap water, and you're like, I never drink tap water, and this is why. People will be like, okay, that's way out there. But if that's who you are and you take a stand on it, now this is the type of video that gets shared because you're passionate about it and you're not trying to please everybody. The one thing I'll say that the bonus gives people is it helps them with their identity. So now if you don't get past question 1, and it's a training, it's over an hour training where I walk people through this template, and you're going to hear people that I'm working with, and then you're going to see, oh, that's what I can do here. Or, I've been too vague about this. So your identity, who your ideal clients are, you're going to speak directly to your ideal clients. That's that top 10%. The top 50% of people you want to work with are going to aspire to be like that top 10%. And the bottom 50% are going to go away because they were never going to work with you anyways. And then what topics do I feel confident that I have a perspective that I can share on? And then after that is, what is my magic? What results do I help people get? And then what are the next steps in working with me? What's my compelling call to action? And then what is my free offer? What I'm going to offer them that is in alignment with this communication I'm giving them, that is going to be that thing is so compelling, like I've got to take them up on this.
Awesome. There's so many takeaways here. Thank you for sharing so much. That's brilliant. I can't wait for all the audience to dive into that bonus, and myself. I'm going to dive right into it. So thank you so much. Any challenges for our audience that you want to have them take their first step? you want them just to dive into your content? That would be a good challenge. That's my challenge. I want to get through your course here and get through the bonus so I can hone in on my specificity and ideal clients and my message.
Yeah, I would say do that. If there's something you're going to do like right now, that maybe something you want to think about before you do it is tell your story on video, even if it's to yourself. Get it out. And then there's going to be a time where you've maybe done it once, twice, 3 times where you hit upload. And then just watch what happens. Because people are dying for real. People want real, something with substance, something with real emotion that touches the heart. They want something that's human instead of something that's polished in plastic.
Awesome. So. Awesome advice from brilliant man. Keep up the great work. And how can our audience get in touch with you if they want to hone in on their mission, vision, and purpose and work with you? What's your contact information?
You can go to ascend.net, ASYND.net. You're going to find training videos there. And then also you can, the bonus, I have a link that you guys can go there just to get that bonus. That bonus is actually every day people are paying $297 for.
Thank you so much. You're so generous with all this information and sharing. And this is the authentic Matthew, just who you are, loving and giving and sharing. And I'm so happy for you and your family that you had that experience with a chiropractor and you took action on it. And now your lives are better because of that. So thank you for giving back to chiropractic because, wow, that's a great story in itself.
Thank you. Yes.
Awesome. Well, take care, and I wish you all the best. And gosh, I can't wait to work with you on branding myself and my image, and I can't wait to get new photos. Thank you for the advice.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much.
This daily podcast is all about you becoming the preeminent voice in your marketplace. So take the consistent and necessary action each and every day on what you've learned over the last few minutes. When you're ready to take your business, your organization, your name, your brand, and your commitment to the level of preeminence, head on over to preeminence.tv where you can download your own copy of the Ultimate Guide to Preeminence, enroll in the Elevation program, and join us on one of our next live events. If you're not subscribed, simply visit iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play right now and click subscribe. Until tomorrow, make today and each and every day count towards creating preeminence in your space and a legacy that matters.